The metal doors slid open with a loud hiss. Steam poured out from the dark room inside. Something big moved in the shadows. "Come out, Vex," Commander Talver called. His voice was cold and hard. A massive shape stepped into the light. Vex was 9 feet tall. His skin was dark gray like stone. Sharp claws grew from his fingers. His eyes glowed red in the dim light of the alien base. "Your training is complete," Talver said. He looked up at the giant warrior. "You are ready for war." Vex said nothing. He stood still like a statue. His creators had made him perfect. Strong, fast, smart. He could kill with his bare hands. Could think like a general. He was the ultimate weapon. Dr. Kekstron walked around Vex slowly. She held a tablet in her thin hands. "Look at those muscles," she said with pride. "Look at that brain power. We have created something amazing." "Humans will not expect this," Talver agreed. "They think they are safe on their little planet. They have no idea what is coming." For 20 years, the Kethvari Empire had worked on this project. They had taken the best DNA from their strongest warriors. They had added chemicals to make Vex bigger and faster. They had put knowledge directly into his brain. Vex knew how to use every weapon. He could speak many languages. He understood battle tactics that took normal soldiers years to learn. But most important of all, he had no feelings, no mercy. "No doubt. Show me your skills," Talver ordered. Vex moved like lightning. He grabbed a metal bar from the wall. With one hand he bent it into a pretzel. He threw it across the room. It hit the wall so hard it went through the metal. "Excellent," Dr. Kekstron said. She made notes on her tablet. "Now show us your combat." Training. Robot soldiers rolled into the room. There were 10 of them. They were armed with laser guns and shock sticks. They surrounded Vex. "Begin simulation," Talver commanded. The robots attacked at once. Laser beams shot through the air. Vex moved between them like a dancer. He was too fast for their weapons. His claws cut through metal like paper. In 30 seconds, all 10 robots lay in pieces on the floor. "Perfect," Talver smiled. It was not a nice smile. "The humans will fall before you like wheat before the blade." Vex had heard about humans many times. The Empire called them weak. They had no claws, no natural armor. They were small and soft. But they had spread across many worlds. They had built cities and ships. Some in the Empire thought humans might be dangerous. "Why do we need to destroy them?" Vex asked. His voice was deep and rough. "If they are so weak, why not just take their planets?" Dr. Kekstron looked surprised. "You are not supposed to ask questions like that." "I am supposed to think," Vex replied. "You made me smart." "Smart creatures ask questions." Talver stepped closer. "You are right to think. But think about this. Humans are like a disease. They spread everywhere, take resources. They fight wars. If we let them live, they will become stronger. They will threaten us, so we kill." "Them all?" Vex asked. "Not all," Talver said. "We keep some as workers, but their cities must burn. Their armies must die. Their spirit must be broken. That is your job." Vex nodded slowly. The logic seemed clear. Weak enemies today could become strong enemies tomorrow. It was better to end the threat now. "When do I leave?" he asked. "Tomorrow," Talver said. "We'll go to their planet called Earth. You will land in different places. You will destroy their biggest cities. You will kill their leaders. When they are afraid and broken, our main army will arrive." Dr. Kekstron handed Vex a small device. "This is your communicator. You will report to us every day. Tell us how many humans you have killed. Tell us how their defenses work." Vex took the device. It was tiny in his big hand. "I understand." "Remember," Talver said, "humans are clever. They will try to trick you. They will try to make you feel sorry for them. They will beg for mercy. Do not listen. They are the enemy. Show no weakness." "I have no weakness," Vex said. "Good." Talver walked to a large window. Outside, hundreds of ships floated in space. "Our fleet is ready. In 1 month, We will own the human worlds. Their resources will be ours. Their future will be ours. Vex looked at the ships too. Each one carried thousands of soldiers. They had weapons that could destroy planets. They were waiting for him to do his job first. What if the humans surrender? Vex asked. They will not, Dr. Kexron said. Humans are too proud. They will fight until the end. That is why we must break them first. And if they do surrender, Talver turned back to Vex, then you keep killing until they cannot fight anymore. A surrender means nothing if they can still hold weapons. Vex thought about this. It made sense. His creators were smart. They had studied humans for many years. They knew what needed to be done. I am ready, Vex said. No, Talver said. You are not ready. You are perfect. There is a difference. The next morning, Vex climbed into his attack pod. The pod was small and fast. It would carry him to Earth without being seen. Inside was everything he needed. Weapons, supplies, maps of human cities. Remember your training, Dr. Kexron said through the communicator. You are the apex predator. They are just prey. I remember, Vex said. The pod launched from the ship. Vex felt the acceleration push him back in his seat. Through the small window, he watched his home fleet grow smaller. Soon he would be alone on an alien world, but he was not afraid. Fear was 4 weak creatures. He was Vex. He was the perfect weapon. He was death itself, coming to Earth. The stars grew brighter as he flew toward his destiny. In a few days, he would land on the human world. He would begin his mission. He would show the humans what real power looked like. Vex closed his eyes and thought about the battles to come. He was ready for war. He had no idea that war was not ready for him. The attack pod screamed through Earth's atmosphere like a falling star. Inside, Vex gripped his seat as the ship shook and rattled. Warning lights flashed red. The computer voice spoke in his language. Hull damage detected. Landing systems failing. Good, Vex muttered. Lightning lit up the dark sky outside. Rain hammered against the pod's small window. The storm had come from nowhere. Vex's maps showed this area should be sunny and dry. The pod hit the ground hard. Vex's head snapped forward. Pain shot through his shoulder. The ship bounced twice, then slid across wet grass before smashing into a tree. Everything went quiet. Except for the sound of rain, Vex pushed the emergency button. The pod's door opened with a hiss. Cold air and rainwater poured inside. He grabbed his weapon pack and climbed out. He was in a field somewhere. The grass was green and tall. Trees grew along the edges. The distance he could see lights from. A small town. But the storm was getting worse. Where am I? Vex asked his communicator. The device crackled. Signal weak. Location. South Korea. Earth Sector 7. South Korea. Vex remembered this from his training. A small country with many people. They had a strong military, but nothing that could stop him. Thunder crashed overhead. The rain was so heavy that Vex could barely see 10 feet in front of him. His pod was smoking and broken. He needed shelter. Through the rain, he saw an old building. It looked like a barn or storage house. The roof was metal and the walls were wood. It was better than standing in the storm. Vex ran toward the building. His shoulder hurt with every step. Inside the barn, it was dark and dry. He could hear rain hitting the roof like bullets. He sat down on some old hay and checked his wounds. His shoulder was bleeding, but not badly. His training had prepared him for much worse. Day 1 report, he spoke into his communicator. Landing successful. Beginning mission. That was a lie. The landing was a disaster. But Commander Talver did not need to know that yet. Vex opened his weapon pack. Inside were 3 laser guns, a plasma sword, and enough ammunition to destroy. A small army. He also had energy bars, water tablets, and medical supplies. He was about to eat when he heard a sound. Footsteps. Small ones. Coming toward the barn. Vex grabbed his laser gun. His training kicked in. Kill first. Ask questions later. The barn door creaked open. A tiny figure stepped inside, shaking water from a yellow raincoat. It was a human child, maybe 7. were 8 years old. She had black hair and big dark eyes. She was carrying a small backpack. Vex pointed his weapon at her. One shot would end her life. But something made him pause. The girl looked up at him. She should have screamed. She should have run. Instead, she tilted her head like a curious bird. "Hello," she said in Korean. "Are you hurt?" Vex understood Korean. His creators had put many languages in his brain, but he had never heard it spoken so softly. Vex started to speak, then stopped. His training said to kill her immediately. But she was so small, so calm. The girl stepped closer. She pulled off her raincoat and hung it on a nail. "My name is Nari. I was walking home from school when the storm started. I saw your spaceship crash." Spaceship. She knew what he was. "You are not from here," Nari said. It was not a question. No, Vex replied. His voice was rough and deep. "I am not." "Are you hurt?" she asked again. Vex looked at his bleeding shoulder. A little Nari opened her backpack. She pulled out a small first aid kit, the kind children carried to school. "My father taught me how to help hurt people." "May I look?" This was wrong. Everything about this was wrong. Vex was supposed to kill humans, not let them help him.
Ow.
But the girl seemed so worried about his pain. "Why are you not afraid?" Vex asked. "Nah, Dashar, I thought about this. You could have hurt me when I came in, but you did not. So I think you are not a bad person." "Person." She called him a person. "I am not a person," Vex said. "I am a weapon." "Talk like a person," Nari said. "You think like a person. You bleed like a person. What else would you be?" Vex had no answer for that. Nari moved closer. "Please let me help. Rain is very cold. You will get sick." Against all his training, Vex lowered his weapon. Nari smiled and opened her first aid kit. Inside were small bandages, antiseptic wipes, and candy. "This might hurt a little," she said. She began cleaning his wound with gentle hands. Vex watched her work. Her fingers were tiny compared to his arm. She hummed a little song while she put the bandage on there, she said. "All better." "Thank you," Vex said. The words came out before he could stop them. Nari reached into her backpack again. She pulled out a small package wrapped in paper. "Are you hungry? I have extra rice cakes from lunch." She offered him the food. Vex stared at it. His creators had never shared food with him. It fed him nutrients and proteins. But this was different. This was kindness. "I do not understand," Vex said. "Understand what?" "Why you are helping me. I am your enemy." Nari looked confused. "You are? Why?" "Because, because I am supposed to hurt humans." "But you have not hurt me," Nari said. "So maybe you are not really my enemy." Before Vex could answer, the barn door opened again. A man stepped inside. He was tall for a human with kind eyes and strong hands. He wore the clothes of a farmer. "Nari," the man called. "I was looking for you. The storm is getting worse." He stopped when he saw Vex. Vex grabbed his weapon. Now he would have to fight. The man would try to protect the child. Vex would have to kill them both. But the man did not run. He did not shout. He looked at Vex's bandaged shoulder and the broken equipment around him. "We're hurt," the man said. "In Korean and far from home?" "Father, this is my new friend," Nari said. His ship crashed in the storm. The man looked at his daughter, then at Vex. "I am Dong-ho. This is my daughter, Nari. I am Vex," he replied without thinking. "Well, Vex," Dong-ho said. "You cannot stay here all night. The storm will last until morning. Come to our house. We have food and a warm place to sleep." Vex stared at them. Father and daughter, offering shelter to their enemy. "I do not understand your people," Vex said. Dong-ho smiled. "Sometimes we do not understand ourselves, but we know right from wrong. And leaving someone hurt in a storm is wrong." Nari took Vex's huge hand in her small one. "Please come with us. I want to show you my drawings." Vex looked down at the tiny girl. She was not afraid of his claws or his size. She just wanted to help. For the first time in his life, the perfect weapon felt something he had never felt before: confusion. The Lee family home was small, but warm. Vex had to bend down to walk through the doorway. Inside, everything was clean and simple. Pictures of Nari hung on the walls. Books filled wooden shelves. Hajin Dong-ho called to his wife. "We have!" A guest, a woman, came from the kitchen. She was pretty and wore a teacher's clothes. When she saw Vex, she stopped walking. But she did not scream or run. "This is Vex," Nari said, still holding his hand. "Hello." His ship crashed in the storm. "He is hurt." Hajin looked at Vex's bandaged shoulder. "You need proper medical care," she said. "That wound could get infected." "I am fine," Vex said. "No, you are not," Hajin replied firmly. "Sit down. Let me look at it." Vex sat on the floor. Even sitting, he was as tall as Dong-ho standing up. Hajin carefully removed Nari's small bandage. "Nari did good work," she said. "This needs real medicine." She cleaned the wound again and put on a proper bandage. "They're much better, thank you," Vex said. "Are you hungry?" Hajin asked. "I made soup for dinner." Vex's stomach made a loud noise. He had not eaten since leaving his ship. "I do not want to be trouble." "No trouble," Dong-ho said. "We always make too much food anyway." They sat around a low table. Hajin brought bowls of soup and rice. Nari showed Vex how to use chopsticks. His big fingers could barely hold the thin sticks. "Like this," Nari said. She moved her chopsticks slowly so he could see. "Do not worry, it takes practice." Vex tried to copy her movements. The chopsticks felt strange in his claws. He dropped rice on the table 3 times. Nari giggled. "Even I dropped food when I was learning," she said. "You were 3 years old," Dong-ho laughed. "And he is learning now," Hajin said kindly. "That is what matters." Vex had never laughed with anyone. Before, his creators did not laugh. They did not smile. They only gave orders and made weapons. "Where are you from?" Hajin asked. "Very far away," Vex said. "Are there others like you?" Vex thought about his answer. "Yes, many others." "Are they coming here too?" "Yes," Vex said quietly. "They are coming." Dong-ho and Hajin looked at each other. They understood something bad was coming. "Are they good people like you?" Nari asked. "I am not good," Vex said. "I am a weapon." "You have not hurt anyone," Nari said. "Good people do not hurt others, but I was made to hurt others. It is my purpose." "People change," Hajin said. "I used to be afraid of dogs. I love them." Dong-ho used to hate vegetables. Now he grows them in our garden. "I still hate vegetables," Dong-ho said with a smile. "You eat them," Hajin replied. "That is what matters." After dinner, Nari showed Vex her room, covered with drawings. Pictures of flowers and animals and her family. She had drawn the rain from today's storm. "I like to draw," she said. "What do you like to do?" Vex thought about this. "I like to ... fight. That is what I was made for." "But what do you like to do?" Nari asked. "Not what you were made for?" "What makes you happy?" No one had ever asked Vex what made him happy. He did not know how to answer. "I do not know," he said. "That is okay," Nari said. "We can find out together." She gave him paper and colored pencils. "Try drawing something." Vex held a pencil in his big hand. It looked like a tiny stick. He did not know how. "Just draw what you see," Nari said. Vex looked around the room. He saw Nari's kind face. He tried to draw it. The picture was not very good, but Nari smiled when she saw it. "That is me," she said. "I look happy in your picture." "You are always happy," Vex said. "Not always. Sometimes I am sad. Sometimes I am scared. But I try to find good things even when times are bad." "What good things?" "My family, my friends, pretty flowers, good food, rain on the roof. There are many good things if you look for them." Vex had never looked for good things. He had only looked for enemies and weapons and ways to kill. That night, Hajin made a bed for Vex in the living room. The blankets were too small for him, but they were soft and warm. "Are you comfortable?" she asked. "Yes," Vex said. "Thank you." "For helping me?" "You are welcome," Hajin said. "Sleep well." But Vex could not sleep. He listened to the family in their rooms. Dong Ho and Hai Jin talked quietly about work and Nari's school. Nari sang a little song to herself. They were not afraid of him. They trusted him in their home with their child. Vex did not understand why. His communicator buzzed. A message. From Commander Talver. Day 2 report required. Vex looked at the device. What could he tell them? That he had crashed? That humans were helping him? That he had not killed anyone? He spoke quietly. Day 2 report. Still studying human defenses. Need more time. Another lie. But he was not ready to tell the truth yet. The next morning, Vex woke to the smell of cooking. Food Nari was sitting beside him, reading a book. Good morning, she said. Did you sleep well? Yes, Vex said. It was the best sleep he had ever had. Today is Saturday, Nari said. No school. We can play together. I do not know how to play. I will teach you, Nari said. Like the chopsticks. After breakfast, Nari showed Vex the garden behind the house. Dong Ho is planting vegetables. Would you like to help? Dong Ho asked. I do not know how to grow things, Vex said. I only know how to destroy them. Growing is more important than destroying, Dong Ho said. It takes longer, but it lasts longer too. Vex watched Dong Ho plant seeds in the dark soil. Why do you do this? Because my family needs food? Because I like to see things grow? Because it makes me feel useful? You are useful, Vex said. You help me, yes, and now you can help others too. Vex thought about this. In his old life, he had never helped anyone. He had only taken orders and prepared for war. Nari showed him how to water the plants. The water came from a small hose. Right. She let him hold it. Not too much, she said. Plants need water, but too much will hurt them. Like kindness? Vex asked. What do you mean? Show me kindness? But if you showed kindness to someone who wanted to hurt you, it might be too much. Nari thought about this. Maybe, but I would rather give too much kindness than too little. Even if it hurt you? Even then, Nari said, 'cause kindness makes the world better, even when it is hard. That afternoon, an old man came to visit. His name was Gilsu. He lived alone next door. I brought rice cakes, Gilsu said. I made too many. You always make too many, Hejin laughed. But we love them anyway. Gilsu looked at Vex with curiosity, but no fear. You are very tall, he said. Yes, Vex replied. Are you good at moving? Heavy things? Yes. I have a refrigerator that needs to be moved. Would you help me? Vex looked at the Lee family, nodded encouragingly. We'll help, Vex said. Moving the refrigerator was easy for Vex. Gilsu was very grateful. Thank you, the old man said. Could not have done it alone. You are welcome, Vex said. Words felt strange, but good. That evening, Vex helped Hai-Jin cook dinner. She taught him how to cut vegetables without destroying them. You are learning fast, she said. I am good at learning, Vex said. Yes, but you are also good at caring. That is harder to learn. I do not understand. You could have hurt us, Hai-Jin said. You are strong enough, but you chose not to. That is caring, my creators would say. I am broken, Vex said. Your creators are wrong, Hai-Jin replied. You are not broken. You are becoming human. I am not human. No, Hai-Jin said with a smile. But you have a human heart now. That is what matters. That night, Vex looked at his communicator again. Another message from Talver. Day 3 report. What is your progress? Vex stared at the device for a long time. Then he turned it off without answering. He was learning something his creators had never taught him. He was learning that some things were more important than following orders. He was learning what it meant to have a family. 2 weeks had passed since Vex's crash landing. He had learned to cook rice without burning it. He could draw simple pictures. He helped Dong Ho in the garden every morning. Most importantly, he had learned to laugh. But the peaceful days were about to end. Vex was playing with Nari in the garden when his communicator buzzed loudly. The sound made him freeze. Nari looked up from her flowers. What is that noise? She asked.
Fine.
Nothing important, Vex said. But his heart was beating fast. The message was from Commander Talver. Report to base immediately. The main fleet arrives tomorrow. Your mission begins now. Vex's blood turned cold. Tomorrow. The invasion was starting tomorrow. Vex. Nari touched his arm. Are you okay? You look scared. I am fine, Vex lied, just tired. That night Vex could not eat dinner. He sat at the table and moved his food around with his chopsticks. The Lee family watched him with worried faces. Are you sick? Jin asked. No, Vex said. I am thinking. About what? Nari asked. Vex looked at her innocent face. How could he tell her that in one day ships would come from space, that soldiers would attack her city, that he was supposed to help them? It's about my people. He said, They are coming here. That is good, Nari said. I want to meet them. Are they nice like you? No, Vex said quietly. They are not nice. Dongho and Hajin looked at each other. They understood that something bad was coming. What do they want? Dongho asked. They want to take your planet, Vex said. They want to make humans their slaves. What do you want? Hajin asked. Vex looked around the table. At Dongho, who had taught him to grow things. Who had shown him kindness. At Nari, who had made him laugh. I want to protect you, he said. Then do it, Nari said simply. You are strong. You can protect us. It is not that easy, Vex said. They are my people. They created me. They gave me life. We gave you love, Nari said. Which is more important? Vex had no answer. That night, Vex sat outside under the stars. His communicator buzzed again and again. Messages from Talvor. Orders to report. Threats of punishment. Vex turned off the device and threw it in the grass. Cannot sleep? Dongho came outside and sat beside him. I have to make a choice, Vex said. Help my people destroy yours, or help your people fight mine? What does your heart tell you? I do not know if I have a heart, Vex said. You do? Dongho said. I have seen it. When you help Nari with her drawings, when you water the plants, when you laugh at dinner, that is your heart. My creators would say I am broken. Your creators are wrong, Dongho said. You are not broken. Are fixed. We fixed you with love. The next morning, Nari woke up sick. She had a high fever and could not get out of bed. Jin was very worried. We need to take her to the hospital, she said. I will drive, Dongho said. But when they went outside, they saw something terrible. The sky was full of dark shapes. Ships. Hundreds of them.
Yes.
The Kethvari fleet had arrived. Oh no, Hyjin whispered. Explosions began in the distance. The ships were attacking the big cities. Smoke rose from the direction of Seoul. We have to go, Dongho said. Now, they put Nari in the car. She was so sick she could barely open. Her eyes, Vex sat in the back, holding her small hand. Are those your people? She asked weakly. Yes, Vex said. They are hurting people. Yes, will you stop them? I do not know how. You will find a way, Nari said. You always find a way. Halfway to the hospital, they met other cars on the road. People were running away from the cities, families with children, old people. Everyone was scared. Then they saw something that made Vex's heart stop. Kethvari soldiers were walking down the road. They were burning houses and shooting at people. Turn around, Vex said. Go back. But Nari needs a doctor, Hyjin said. Dr. Wubin lives in the village, Dongho said. They can help her. They drove back to the village. The soldiers were there too. They were putting people in cages. Children were crying. Adults were shouting. Cannot go home, Dongho said. Yes, we can, Vex said. Stop the car. What? Stop the car. I will handle this. Dongho stopped the car. Vex got out and walked toward the soldiers. There were 6 of them. They looked just like him, but smaller. They carried big guns, One soldier shouted in the Kethvari language. What are you doing here? I am Vex, he said. I am the advanced scout. Vex, where have you been? Commander Talvor has been calling you for days. I've been studying the humans, Vex said. Learning their weaknesses? Good. Help us load these prisoners. We need workers for the mines. Vex looked at the cages. Inside were people from the village. Gilsu was there, the shopkeeper, the teacher from Nari's school. All of them looked terrified. Let them go, Vex said. Let them go. They are not useful workers. They are too old and weak. Orders are orders, the soldier said. We take everyone. I am changing the orders, Vex said. You cannot change orders. Commander Talver can do that. Then I will ask him, Vex said. He grabbed the soldier's communicator. Commander, this is Vex. VEX. Talver's voice was angry. Where have you been? Why did you not report? I have been studying the humans closely, Vex said. Have learned something important. What? They are not weak. They are dangerous. Very dangerous. We should not take prisoners. We should kill them all immediately. Excellent. I knew you would see the truth. Kill them now. Yes, Commander, Vex said. He gave the communicator back to the soldier. You heard him, the soldier said. Kill them all. The soldiers raised their weapons. People in the cages screamed. Wait, Vex said. I will do it. I am the best killer. You watch and learn. The soldiers stepped back. Vex walked to the cages. He looked at the frightened people inside. Gilsu looked at him with sad eyes. I am sorry, Gilsu whispered. No, Vex said quietly. I am sorry. Vex turned around fast. His claws cut through the first soldier's armor like paper. The soldier fell down, not dead, but hurt too badly to fight. What are you doing, another? Soldiers shouted. Choosing, Vex said. The fight was over in seconds. Vex was faster and stronger than all of them. He did not kill them, but he made sure they could not hurt anyone. He opened the cages. The people ran out. Free. Go to the mountains, Vex told them. Hide there until this is over. What about you, Gilsu asked. I have work to do, Vex said. He ran back to the car. Nari was awake now, watching through the window. You saved them, she said. Yes, I knew you would. How did you know? 'Cause you were good, Nari said, and good people protect others. Dr. Wubin came running from his house. I heard fighting. Is anyone hurt? Aria's sick, Hyjin said. She has a fever. Bring her inside, the doctor said. I will help her. While the doctor worked, Vex stood guard outside. His communicator was buzzing again. More messages from Talver. The soldiers are not responding. What happened? Gex picked up the communicator. Commander, this is Vex. What is happening? Down there? I have learned something about humans, Vex said. What? They are not weak. They are not afraid. They are not alone. What do you mean? I mean, they have something we do not have. They have each other, and now they have me. You are betraying us. No, Vex said. I am saving us from becoming monsters. He crushed the communicator in his hand. Inside the house, Nari was feeling better. The doctor had given her medicine. She was sitting up in bed, smiling. Are you okay? Vex asked. Yes, she said. Are you okay? I am now, Vex said. I made my choice. What choice? To be what you said I was. Good, Ari. Took his big hand in her small one. I am proud of you. I am proud of you too, Vex said. You taught me how to be human. You were always human, Nari said. You just needed to remember. Outside, more ships were landing. Invasion was getting bigger. But Vex was not afraid. Anymore, he had chosen his side. He had chosen love over war. He had chosen to be human. 1 year later, the war was over. Vex stood in the same garden where he had first learned to plant seeds. But now everything was different. The vegetables were taller. The flowers were brighter. He was no longer a weapon. Nari ran out of the house, carrying a watering can. She was 9 years old now, and much taller than before. But she still had the same kind smile. Good morning, Vex, she said in Korean. Ready to water the plants? Good morning, Nari, Vex replied. His Korean was perfect now. Yes, I am ready. They worked together in the morning sun. Vex was careful. With the water, not too much, not too little, just right for each plant. Remember when you first tried to water the tomatoes? Nari laughed. You gave them so much water they almost drowned. I was learning, Vex said. Yo. You taught me that growing things takes patience. And you taught me that even the strongest people can choose to be gentle. Vex smiled. Smiling had become easy for him, natural, like breathing. The war had ended 6 months ago. Not with more fighting, but with talking. Vex's betrayal had shocked the Kethvari Empire. When other enhanced warriors heard about his choice, they began to question their orders too. Some refused to fight. Others protected humans instead of killing them. The Empire's perfect army began to fall apart from the inside. Commander Talver had been furious. He sent more ships to Earth, but the humans were ready now. They had learned to fight together, and they had Vex to teach them about Kethvari weapons and tactics. Most importantly, they had something the Empire did not understand. Hope, Vex. Dong Ho called from the house. Someone is here to see you. Vex and Nari walked to the front yard. A woman in a military uniform was waiting. She was Korean, with serious eyes and a kind face. Colonel Park, Vex said, bowing politely. It is good to see you. Hello, Vex. Hello, Nari. Colonel Park had become a friend during the war. She was one of the first humans to trust Vex completely. What brings you here? Dong Ho asked, coming outside with Hijin. Good news, Colonel Park said. The Peace Council has approved the new refugee program. The first group of Kethvari asylum seekers will arrive next week. That is wonderful, Hijin said. She was a teacher again now, but she also helped alien refugees learn human languages. They will need a guide, Colonel Park said, looking at Vex. Someone who understands both worlds. Vex nodded. This was his job now. After the war ended, many Kethvari soldiers had been left behind on Earth. Some were injured. Others had nowhere to go. A few like Vex had learned to love humans. How many this time? Vex asked. 23. Mostly young soldiers. They saw what you did and decided they wanted to choose peace too. Are any of them sick? Nari asked. A few, Colonel Park said. Why do you ask? Because sick people need extra kindness, Nari said. Vex taught me that. Actually, you taught me that, Vex said. We taught each other, Nari replied. Colonel Park smiled. That is why this program works. Because people like you show that different species can become family. After Colonel Park left, the Lee family sat together for lunch. It was Saturday, so Nari had no school. Vex's favorite day of the week. What will you tell the new refugees? Hijin asked. The same thing I tell them all, Vex said. That humans are not the enemy. That Earth can be home for anyone who chooses peace. Do they believe you? Not at first. They think I am broken, like my creators said. But then they meet people like you. They see how you live, how you care for each other, and they begin to understand. Understand what? Nari asked. That strength is not about how hard you can hit. It is about how much you can love. That afternoon, Gilsu came to visit. The old man was slower now, but his smile was as bright as ever. I brought rice cakes, he said. I made too many again. You always make too many, Nari laughed. But we love them anyway. Gilsu sat in the garden with them. Heard about the new refugees? Will they stay in the village? Some will, Vex said. Others will go to the cities. They need to find their own paths, like you did, Gilsu said. Yes, but I was lucky. I found my path quickly. You found your family quickly, Gilsu corrected. That made everything else easy. Later, Dr. Wubin stopped by to check on Nari. She had been completely healthy since her fever during the war, but the doctor still visited every month. She is strong, he told her parents. Stronger than before. That is because she has a good teacher, Hijin said, looking at Vex. And I have a good student, Vex replied. That evening, Nari showed Vex her newest drawing. It was a picture of the garden, but with many different types of people working in it. Humans, Kethvari, and other aliens too. This is my dream, she said. A place where everyone can grow together. It is beautiful, Vex said. Just like your heart, do you think? It will really happen someday. It is already happening, Vex said. Look around. Look at our family. Look at our friends. Look at the refugees who come here looking for hope. Find it. Nari added. Yes, and find it. As the sun set, Vex sat on the porch with Dong Ho. They watched the stars come out one by one. "Do you ever miss your old life?" Dong Ho asked. "No," Vex said without hesitation. "That was not life. That was just existing." "What is the difference?" "Life has love in it. Life has family. Life has choice. And you chose well," Dong Ho said. "I chose what Nari taught me to choose," Vex said. "I chose to be human." "You chose to be yourself," Dong Ho corrected. "Real you. The you that was always there, waiting to be found." The next week, the new refugees arrived. They came in a small transport ship, looking scared and confused. Vex met them at the landing area with Nari and her family. The refugees were young, just like Colonel Park had said. They looked at Vex with a mixture of hope and fear. "Welcome to Earth," Vex said in the Cathvari language. "My name is Vex. I was like you once. Are you the traitor?" one young soldier asked. "I am the one who chose love over war," Vex replied. "If that makes me a traitor, then yes." "What will happen to us here?" "That depends on what you choose," Vex said. "You can choose fear and anger, or you can choose to learn and grow." Nara stepped forward. She spoke in simple Cathvari words that Vex had taught her. "Hello, my name's Nari. I'm happy to meet you." The refugees stared at the small human girl. She was not afraid of them. She was smiling. "You taught a human our language?" another soldier asked. "She taught me yours first," Vex said. "We teach each other. That is what families do." One of the refugees, a female soldier named Kexra, knelt down to Nari's level. "You are very brave, little one," she said. "Not brave," Nari replied, "just kind. Kindness is easier than bravery." Kexra looked up at Vex. "Is this how all humans treat aliens?" "This is how good people treat everyone," Vex said, "and most humans are good people." Over the following days, Vex helped the refugees settle into their new lives. He showed them human customs. He taught them how to find jobs and make friends. Most importantly, he showed them that they could choose who they wanted to be. Some refugees decided to return to space, but many chose to stay on Earth. They found work in the cities. They learned human languages. They started families of their own. Kexra decided to stay in the village. She became a teacher, working with Hyjin to help other aliens learn Korean. She also learned to garden with Vex and Nari. "I never thought I would enjoy growing things," she said one morning as they planted new flowers. "I never thought I would enjoy anything," Vex replied. "But humans taught me that life is full of surprises." "Good surprises? The best surprises," Nari said. "Like finding out that the scariest person in the universe is actually the kindest." Vex laughed. "I am not the kindest person in the universe. That title belongs to you. You can share it," Nari said. That afternoon, a reporter came to interview. She wanted to write a story about the famous girl who tamed the apex predator. "That is not the right story," Nari said. "What is the right story?" the reporter asked. "The story of the apex predator who learned that the strongest warriors are the ones who choose when not to fight. And who taught you that?" the reporter asked Vex. Vex looked at Nari, then at her parents, then at all the friends and refugees who had become his family. "They all did," he said. "They taught me that peace is not weakness. Peace is the hardest choice and the bravest one." "What do you do now?" "Now I teach others what I learned. I help them find their own paths to peace. I grow vegetables and flowers. I draw pictures with my daughter. I live." "Your daughter? Not by blood?" Vex said, putting his arm around Nari. "But by choice, and choice is stronger than blood." The reporter smiled. "That is a beautiful story." "It is not finished yet," Nari said. "The best parts are still too. Come." That evening, as they sat down for dinner, Nari asked a question that made everyone think. "Vex, do you think there are other apex predators out there who need to learn about love?" "Probably," Vex said. "Then we should be ready to teach them," she said. "We, of course," Nari said. "We are a team. We always have been." Vex looked around the table at his human family, at Kexra, who had become like a sister, at all the people who had chosen to see good in a creature designed for war. "Yes," he said. "We are a team. We will be ready." Outside, the stars shone down on the little farm where an apex predator had learned to be human, where war had been defeated by kindness, where the strongest warrior in the galaxy had discovered that the greatest victory was choosing not to fight. And in the garden, flowers grew, where weapons once lay broken. Peace had won.